welcome back to Third Eye Sailing. You're here with your anchors, Haley and Dustin. Another week, another day, another not dollar. Dustin makes dollars. I don't make dollars. I'd like to throw some dollars.
Whoa.
All right. I'm gonna go first since I usually let you go first. Highlight, low light, doo 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 doo. Highlight. I'm stealing yours because I know you're gonna take it. We went sailing yesterday. Gosh darn it. And we put the Genoa out. Did we do that last? Yeah, we did do that last time, but we didn't move.
No.
So
Nowhere.
If you saw the video, which you probably couldn't understand me talking in it, but 3.5 knots was our high speed. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good. We were both, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Low light was we were both getting a little ready to blow chunks. It was really choppy, but it was fun. I was climbing and doing helpful things like putting the fenders in and out of the water. And it was very exhilarating. I like it. Your turn.
Let's see. Highlight. Highlight, I guess, would have to be that we will start doing the battery stuff more this week. We've had them for a couple weeks now. Got them all charged up and cables ordered and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully should be able to start tearing all that apart probably Wednesday. So it'll be fun. Probably won't go out for the next 2 weeks, but that's fine. Because I know it'll be stuff won't work and all this other stuff because that's just how it goes in me doing projects. So,
like yesterday.
Yeah. Low light, I guess would be. I'd say the swell yesterday. I'd say kind of the same as you. I mean, I didn't really get. I guess I got like a little queasy, but for me it was more of just not used to it. It's a lot different of a swell than like Lake Ontario would throw, because Lake Ontario was more waves. This you kind of get the big rollers, which we didn't really get a lot of on Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario is more of like a bathtub. It kind of just sloshes back and forth. Where this you kind of get, I mean, I'm betting a lot of that swell was coming right from like Boundary Bay, and that's a ways away. So,
Is that in Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's like when we go out and you can see White Rock, and then kind of the point we could see out to the starboard side. You can see Point Roberts, and then between Point Roberts and White Rock is Boundary Bay.
Okay. Yeah, it was getting a little froggy.
Yeah.
And then I went down below a few times because I was trying to figure out what was making all the noise, and it was our stupid head door, our bathroom door, just kept. It's latched, like it's an accordion door. I don't know if they're all like that. Is that usually how they're like?
If there's a door.
If there's a door.
sometimes they're not. Like I think on some versions of the Catalina 30s, you had like an actual door that like opened and closed. But a lot of them did the accordion door. Some did, some didn't. So.
But yeah, so it just kept, with the swells, it just kept hitting the wall of the bathroom, like going back and forth and back and forth. It sounded like things were just breaking. They weren't, but it's just very loud. I mean, it's all wood and
slamming against the wall.
Yeah. And like I'm looking around, like, has anything fallen? Like our little dehumidifier is like on the edge, like ready to topple over with water in it. It was fine. Nothing fell. Usually, well, usually the last couple of times that we had gone out, it was like the stove oven that was moving back
That
and forth.
bangs, yeah.
But I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, I mean,
compared to everything else.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Can we like replace? Well, we've been talking about different ways to silence the door. We're probably gonna use like Velcro and make like little, I don't know what to call them, like hinges.
Kind of in a way, just like Velcro the two sections of the accordion together, and then put a strip of Velcro on the back, and then Velcro on the back of like on the actual like bulkhead, and see if we can get it to stick. It is like industrial grade Velcro, so I hope it'll hold the door. If for some reason it doesn't, we're just gonna take the door off. We're not really planning on having guests
too
as
often
of right now too often, and we have to put the door back on when they come around. They come around. I mean,
it can't be that bad. But I really think the Velcro is gonna work.
Yeah.
But can we get a replacement lock for the gimbal on the stove?
We'll have to look at it and see. I think there's
that's why that moves.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a bar. At least from what I was looking, I think there's supposed to be a bar that comes across and then locks, and the bar like locks the stove in place.
Huh.
So I gotta see if there's something we can get.
Not in a rush. Just
no,
it's just little things at this point.
Yeah, it's just little tiny annoying
little
things.
White people problems.
Yeah.
that have sailboats. Yeah. So it was fun though yesterday. Besides trying to focus on the horizon, nobody was out. We were like the only ones.
No, it was like maybe, and there was a couple. And there was no sailboats out. One came out when we were coming back.
Oh, really?
But all the rest were all powerboats. So, yeah.
Well, tell them about Friday. Friday, we got our new boom.
Oh, yes. So, I don't know if we mentioned it on here.
I think we did a little.
Did we? So one of the things when we got the boat, and didn't really notice too much until we went to go rig, put the mainsail on, and I noticed there was no outhaul really connection. Like that's odd.
Can you just explain what an outhaul is?
It's a wire rope. It's a combination wire, combination rope. At least ours is now because it's the original one. But it basically goes. So the boom on the sailboat is hollow, and the wire part of it goes up through the boom. I think it goes through like a couple pulleys, and then at the end of the boom, it goes up around this other pulley, and then it connects to, the clew of the sail, or that is where the bottom, which is called the foot, and the long part of the triangle, which is called the
leech.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And this is the mainsail.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the big sail that you typically see on sailboats.
So at where those two meet, there's a stainless steel ring that's part of the sail, and it's supposed to hook into that. Well, our boom didn't have one, so I was doing some research, and one of the people online, I don't even know if he even has a boat anymore, but he had a Catalina 22, Stingy Sailor. I think he has like his own blog, like website and everything. He has all this more like DIY kind of cheaper options, ways to like fix things and stuff like that. A lot of it's geared towards trailer sailors, but a lot of it, you can scale up to like a 30-foot boat.
What's a trailer sailor?
A boat that you can put on a trailer, and you don't have to leave it in a marina. So like you can get you can get trailer sailors up to like 26 feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's
That's big.
yeah, there's like 2 or 3 of them you can get that are like 26 footers that you can throw on a trailer.
Huh.
And they always have swing keels. And you drive them just like a normal boat, but then like most of them can be pulled by like a pickup truck,
Huh.
by like a normal like F-150 can like pull them.
Okay.
They're pretty popular. I don't know about out here so much. Um, but like a lot of people that live on lakes, it's a lot more popular to have something like that because you don't have to leave it in the water.
Makes sense.
You know, like the people across the street, they have one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have it. It looks like a Catalina 22 actually. I don't know if they use it, but they have one. Anyway, so he has just tips and tricks and ways to rig an outhaul. So I kind of followed his list of like all the different things and scaled it up a little bit, to our needs. And it was gonna run us like $200, and I was like, I mean, it's not a lot of money in terms of like boat money, right? But for us frugal people and that don't have a lot of money or wasn't really expecting to put, kind of that money into that, I was like, all right, there's got to be a better option. So our friend Jim, when he came with us to bring the boat from Bellingham to here, that was one of the things that he noted was like, hey, got this, and he's like, well, he still had his old boom from his Catalina 30. He had bought a newer one that was shorter and had all internal reefing and stuff like that. So he still had his boom, and he's like, originally he was like, oh, we can just trade booms or whatever, and so eventually we talked about it and offered him some money. It came out cheaper than what it would have been to get a new outhaul. And it's the same exact boom. So it we I mean it didn't take that long to swap it. It was about an hour. Hardest part was we didn't want to take the main off, partially because we're lazy. We probably could have, and it would have been faster. But
so we were all holding the
gigantic
sail.
Of course, whenever you want to raise a sail on the dock, you normally don't want wind because it's gonna push things around. You don't want it to push things. And of course, there's no wind. And then as soon as we raise the main to swap the boom out, the wind decides to, hello, I'm here. So yeah, that was fun. Trying to hold on to a kite, basically.
My fingertips were flattened, basically.
Part of it because was trying to get there's a shackle, trying to get that on the end of the set for the outhaul so we could rig it, rig the boom to rig the sail to the outhaul so we could tighten it down and then lower it again. So yeah,
it was fine.
It was fun. It's fun. It's fine. Everything's good.
We have a new boom.
Yeah, we haven't put the main up yet. We have one of the pulleys is squeaking, and it seems like it's partially jamming. So we got to figure out which one it is. Because we can get the main up about halfway and then it stops. So I think a lot of it's just from not being used because it sat for who knows how many months. Granted, it's months and not years, which is one of the reasons that we bought the boat.
But we can get it up all the way.
Yeah,
it just takes a lot of.
You gotta winch it like the last half, which is about probably 20 feet. The last like 20 feet of the mast, you gotta winch it. I do want to check the deck organizer because I don't remember if we checked that and see if the pulley on that is broken, and we'll check the pulleys at that where it comes out of the mast. See if that affects it at all. Yeah, I mean.
Well, we didn't try it yesterday either because of that reason that we just don't want to deal with something being too difficult out there yet. But I'm still learning how to handle the jib sheets. And I think it went better. Yes, we got gloves. We got
Yeah,
gloves, and that
yeah, we got sailing gloves. I don't care if you call them whims, but
that helped
our
so
hands
much.
just can't handle it. We're not out working or been sailing for the last
Nope.
10 years and have those calluses.
We don't
It's
play
just,
instruments. We
yeah,
don't do anything.
and it's just easier. So
And I mean, I took them on and off like three,
I
four
did too.
times. You did
Yeah,
too. I mean, it just I can't feel things like
yeah.
normal, so it's a little more difficult. But I do feel safer and like better protected.
Yeah, like I wrapped the furling line around my hand to try to help
Oh.
pull it in yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm glad I have this glove, 'cause
Yeah.
just to get some extra, because I'm trying to steer and furl at the same time. I guess I could have probably locked the wheel, but at the amount of time it would have taken me to spin that lock all the
Yeah.
way around, I could have had the sail furled and just kind of take my knee and just stick it in the wheel and hold it straight. So,
Oh my god.
there's probably better ways to do things, but
We're learning.
which we'll learn as time goes on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the new boom. And we slept on the boat that night, and we slept the other way. So I don't
Heads
even
were
remember.
towards the towards the cabin.
Yeah. So the
So
last
feet-
bunch of
feet
times
in
we
the
had
knee.
slept the other way, where our heads were like
Yeah.
touching,
Not doing
because
that.
it slanted. But then we filled the water tanks, and we put our extra anchor in the bow to, what is that called? The locker, the anchor
The
locker.
anchor locker, yeah.
So that kind of helped. And melatonin. That also does definitely. I got Dustin on the melatonin train. I don't care what anybody says. I'm getting great night's sleep. So
I don't care if it's a crutch. It's fine.
it's fine.
I don't know how much about using it as an anchor, but
No, we probably can't do that. But that's gonna be a long. Well, wait a minute. Why not? Like when we go on our trip.
I'm probably gonna barely sleep that first
Okay.
night anyway. So, I mean, I do have an anchor alarm app on my phone that we're gonna use.
Oh, how does that connect to what we have?
It doesn't. It uses your GPS location.
Oh.
So you set a radius. So you say like 10 meters or 20 meters or 30 meters or whatever, and then it'll alert you if your phone goes outside that radius. So
that's cool.
Granted, because your phone's on the boat, if the boat goes outside that radius, it blares your phone, which means you're dragging. So 30 meters is what? 90 feet? I think. Because what is it? 1 meter is 3 feet? I think is the conversion. Yeah. Because 10 meters is 30 feet. Yeah. 20 meters is 60 and 30 meters is 90. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. See, family listening, we are being safe. And we wore life jackets yesterday.
Yeah, like as soon as we got out in the channel, I was like,
Well, yeah. I mean, I was going up. You told me I should put on a life jacket.
Yeah.
And I was going to anyway.
Yeah.
To get,
regardless of the sea state.
Get up on top there and do the fenders. It's fine.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
That was just not wild. A great second time going out.
I think it was more of a shock to me. Like my stomach was a little, and like the ginger chew I think helped just kind of calm everything. But I think it was just more of a shock, and just dealing with that kind of swell we probably the smart thing to do would have been to turn around. But at the same time, calm seas do not make great sailors. So.
And what did you say? How big were the?
I'm guessing at least 2 feet, because I think the one time we went out they were a foot. The second time.
Oh, I don't even remember like any waves.
I mean, there really wasn't There weren't all that many.
There was no wind, no waves. But wait, what were our wind speeds yesterday?
I don't even. I'm guessing like between
10 and 12.
10 and 12 maybe. The apps are all just
terrible,
so annoying
useless,
and terrible. And this new one, Sailor Flow, is pretty nice. It is paid, which kind of stinks, but it is nice because it does get live data from different stations around the island, around the islands. So it is nice to kind of get live, wind data. We don't have a wind vane, like an actual, like proper, like Raymarine wind vane system. I think it is one of the things I do want to get eventually, just because our instruments are old anyway. So I think to kind of integrate with things better. Just like I've been thinking more about maybe getting an actual autopilot or getting an actual chart plotter. Eventually. Just to make easy integration with everything. I mean, we have the Raspberry Pi and like we are going to use it for some stuff, but I think with some of it to have easy integration with things, we'll see. I mean, it would be nice to have a chart plotter as a backup, right? We have the tablet with Navionics, we have our phones, but to have some sort of backup, like if the tablet dies or it breaks or something like that and we're out somewhere, and we need to be able to get home.
We can't do anything like with our phones.
I mean, we could do a little bit, but like, what if our phones die?
I know, right? But so that would mean that 3 devices would have to die.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like the chart plotter wouldn't die because it would be hardwired into the system.
Yeah.
Like into the boat. So I think it's a good backup. I think for now the Navionics and everything works. Mm-hmm. And I think it'll be good for like if we do get a chart plotter and that becomes our main, it'll be a good backup. Mm-hmm. If for some reason something happens to the chart plotter or just I think if we just get the whole ecosystem, it's more money, but once we're living on the boat, I mean, we're gonna kind of have that extra
sailing kitty.
Yeah. And being able to not have to worry, is the tablet charged today? Did I plug it in last night? When we were done sailing, and also visibility wise. Even though we are going to get a bimini, but if you get sun in a certain direction, I mean, there's points where I can barely see that tablet. Granted, part of it's my sunglasses, I think, too, because they're polarized. So screens, it doesn't like screens.
So did you expect that little aspect going into this with the tablet? Like not being able to really see it well?
I didn't think it would be that big of an issue, I guess, so much. Because, like, I can see my phone, like, when the brightness is all the way up in my sunglasses, I can see my phone fine. I guess I don't know if it's just additional glare or what it is, or... but I mean, that's the one pro that chart plotters have is their screen is just... It's a lot more glare resistant, and it's just brighter. It's able to be just so much more brighter because it's, it's meant for being in the sun all the time, and you can just see it.
I didn't know they had, like... So it's like a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So it's like a sailing GPS tablet.
Yeah. And you normally, like, the newer ones, I think the Raymarine, like, Axiom ones, I mean, they're, in the grand scheme of chart plotters, they're not bad. They're like $700-800, I think. But it would integrate right in with the autopilot. Like, we could control the autopilot right from the chart plotter. Mm-hmm. And also would integrate for like setting a course. Mm-hmm. So like if we didn't want to just use heading with the autopilot, we could set a course and everything will talk to each other and it'll follow our course. Follow our route. So, just one of those things that, people are going to say, I've used a tablet for years and it works fine. Yeah, it works fine. But I I've been starting to get to that mindset of it'd be nice to be prepared, or just have it as a backup, you know, or have the tablet as a backup or something, you know. So I mean, the tablet is nice for chart plotting and being able to bring it home and plot what we want, or like if we're living on the boat full time, like to be able to go hang out with friends and have even, you know, like a nice big screen that we can look at. Oh, we're gonna go here, and I usually go this way, and you know. So I think once we have that extra cruising kitty money, that I think it's something that I think if we realize that we need it, you know, we go that route.
We're all about backups over here.
Backups
sometimes
backups
a little too
backups.
much. Sometimes a little too much.
A little bit too much, but
it's and a little update with we did the market again on Saturday. Kind of I sold like one thing because I've learned that plant people are probably not my people that are buying whale tail jewelry. The master gardeners had a big booth at the market, and it just, I mean, so many people came and bought all these plants, and it was, I don't know if there were like vegetables they had or just plants.
I think it was just like home garden stuff. I know the people next to us had like some vegetable plants. They didn't have any veggies out yet, but
yeah, it's still not harvesting
still
season.
Not quite season yet.
It's kind of crazy.
It's getting there. They were saying at least. I know their stuff's in a greenhouse, so they're pretty much almost ready for harvest.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll probably be like that every other week. It's good, bad, whatever. So I think they're gonna start doing every other Wednesday to Wednesday nights. I forgot. We have to do the application for that. Yeah. But we're probably gonna take a week off. We went 2 weeks in a row, and it's a lot. And we got a canopy from our friend who does tie-dye. So that was really helpful. My scalp didn't burn, your neck didn't burn.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
So it was okay. Talked to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Lots of tourists came out.
It's a fluke.
It's a
fluke.
Yes. What did that? This guy came up and he was like, "You made these on a fluke?" Like, yeah, you whale tail. Yeah. People had jokes. They
did.
What was that? That one guy. Oh, he was. He was talking about like an old employee that he used to have, and he was like, this guy had a plethora of issues.
Yeah.
And he was like, one time he came up to me and he had split a spoon in half and was like, "Hey, it's a whale tail." And he basically was like, "You're fired." Like, I don't know if that's how it went, but that's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah. Some characters.
Yeah. There was a guy that was selling the toy cars, right? Like wooden
trucks.
Trucks. That's really cool.
And from what it sounded like,
it's like a family.
Well, not also that, but I think he was saying something about different woods from different places that he's visited.
Oh.
So I think different trucks are made out of different types of wood from all the places that he's gone. Because he was talking about like South America, places in like South America, and like woods from like, I forget, like there were a bunch of crazy ones he was talking about. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I was too irritated to pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mad. And I had to pee like a racehorse, per usual. Like, I don't know what kind of system we're gonna have to come up with, but yeah. So I mean, brought it all home in the wagon. We had brought it all to the boat because it's a little bit of a shorter walk.
Yeah, it was like what, like 10 minutes? Not even 10 minutes.
Was it? Yeah, it was short.
Yeah.
But then it's like a mile and a half home.
Yeah.
That wagon was heavy.
We walked like, I think about 10 miles Thursday through Sunday.
10 miles? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because we walked 3.5 yesterday. We walked.
It's been 3, like, every day.
Yeah. since Thursday.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
Because we went to the boat Thursday, didn't we?
Uh-huh.
And then we came home.
Yep.
And then we went Friday. Stayed. Yeah. Yeah, that was about probably over 10 miles.
It's been a very busy week.
I'm tired.
Are you not recovered yet?
Getting there.
I'd like to make some irrational complaints.
Okay.
How do I put this?
Uh-oh. Is it about me?
No, it's not about you. We got into some tips though, but everything's fine. Everything's good at home. So just socially awkward people. Like, I'm not pointing at anyone on the spectrum, like blatantly on the spectrum, but people who are just so obviously ignorant and awkward with things that they don't understand. So I have 2 examples. The one last week at the market, I mean, people come up to your stuff and they look at it, and like, I personally ask questions like, how long does it take you to make this? Like, what made you get into this? Like, I like to ask questions because I know that makes them feel good, like someone's interested, even if I don't buy anything. Like, it's still showing that, like, oh wow, you make really cool things, or your cause is worth being inquired about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So we just, there's always a couple people who, they come up to your table, they don't say anything, and they're just quiet, and they're just like looking and touching things, looking at the stuff, no questions, and then all you get is interesting.
We got some of that yesterday too. Just not the interesting. We got some like,
yeah,
that's neat, and that's pretty,
nothing else,
but no questions.
Just
no,
like they walk away after, like,
okay,
bye, have a good day. Like, so I just feel as though, are they too afraid to ask questions? Like, I guess I can understand, I don't really care to inquire more because I don't like what I see. But at that point, I wouldn't even go over to the table.
Yeah.
Like, you can, okay, other normal people can see from a certain distance away, like, this is jewelry. It has whale tails on them. And, like, I have signs that say, 10% of my proceeds go to whale research. And I had a little,
Orca Action Month.
Orca Action Month is June. I had a sign for that. And, I don't know if people can't read, because they ask, they come and they ask, like, what is this? What is this? What are you doing? Read. It's right there. I don't know how to make it more. I said to you like 3 times on Saturday, like, I don't know what else to write.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to make.
I don't know what else to put on here.
Are we dealing with just complete illiterate people? Like,
I don't know. I don't get it.
And so then I got into this whole thing, just like in my own head that weekend, like between Saturday night after I took a nap for 2 hours, just totally mentally drained. But then I'm just like thinking, like, I can't make people care, which I've already known and I've already obviously accepted. That's just something as humans. If you're working for a cause that you really care about, you just have to accept that. Not everyone is going to care. Okay. But then I have to remember too, just because they don't stop or buy anything, it doesn't mean that they don't care.
Yeah.
because people do that all the time. Like, you go through the grocery line. Do you want to donate $1? No, we usually don't. We didn't. It doesn't mean we don't care. We're not terrible people.
Yeah, and I guess it's not like we're asking them to give more money than what we're asking for. We're just telling them that 10% of their proceeds of their sales goes to our research. Like it comes out of the money they pay us.
Yeah, they don't have to give anything extra.
I don't know, and
I don't know.
I don't know what to do to grab their, like, keep them there. I don't.
Well, that's the thing, and it's like you can't. It doesn't mean they don't care.
Yeah.
But at least maybe the people that I did talk to, like when you went to get change, I talked to this one couple for like more than a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just talking about the salmon and the different pods, and I think they were tourists. They were nice, but
You can tell.
what?
You can tell
The tourists.
Because they're always nice, and they always want what's this?
Yeah. And oh my god! All right, I'm losing track, but there was this one other lady who was like, what did she say? She looked at the jewelry, touching it, looking at it, and she was like, "Oh, I just don't really need any whale tail jewelry right now." Like, okay.
Yeah. Then why did you come over?
Move along,
table?
then, ma'am.
Keep going. There's someone that... And then there was the lady that asked, "You know what this is made of?"
Oh yeah.
Metal.
Is this real silver? No.
Wow, it's not sterling, what did she say?
I said, well, it's not sterling. It's not, like, real anything.
And she's like, well, not with those prices, of course it's not.
because I told her the necklaces were $10. Like, oh, that's pretty cheap. Like,
well,
yeah.
What do you want?
Do you want me to charge $20, $30 a necklace for something that's going to charity? I don't think so.
Yeah. No.
For something that takes me, like, 10 minutes to make, I'm sure other people would charge more, but
probably.
there's no way I can do that in my conscience. Like, I do have to charge a little more online because I have to pay to ship it.
To cover the shipping, yeah.
But yeah, that's what you gotta do. But then there was this, okay, so back to socially awkward idiots that just don't know how to handle awkward situations. We were, I don't know when this was. We were walking to the boat. You had the wagon. I was behind you. And it was hot. It was a warm day.
Yeah.
You didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
I
heard part of it. I didn't know he was talking to you. I was like, why is the other one up there?
So this guy smoking a cigarette outside of the restaurant, older guy, like most of this town, which, nothing against the age group, but, I walk by, and I had already walked past him. Like, I was well past him, about to turn the corner around the building, and he yells, "You look pretty comfortable for somebody that can't see." Because I had my cane, and, like, nobody was holding my arm or anything. And okay, I probably looked good with my shorts and my shirt and my tan, but, like, can you think of any other way to, like, try and say anything? Like, I just...
Yeah.
And all I said was, "Yep." And I just kept walking. Like, are you trying to just be disgusting and old and gross and just a typical male, or are you so uncomfortable because you don't understand anything? Like, and so I love those times. Actually, I hate them because I'm the type of person that doesn't think of a good comeback in the moment. I'm not wired that way. I am the person that's like, oh, I could have said this, oh, I could have said this. Or like I'm thinking when we're walking back, or like, and even to the boat still, like, oh, I'm gonna say this next time I see him. Like, it's just like all of these my adrenaline is through the roof. I'm ready to rumble. Like, I just wanna somebody say something, please, because I will kill you, bite your head off. Ugh. So, yeah. Ignorant, socially awkward people.
I was surprised he knew what your game was.
Well, that's what I mean. So, okay, I guess he isn't that dumb, which is maybe he was just being gross. And
probably.
That's just annoying. And, you know, we haven't seen a lot of that.
No.
Not really at all.
No,
here.
Not really.
People have class here.
Enough class, or enough to just shut up and just not say anything.
Yeah. But there's always the rare few. So, anything from you? Irrational complaints?
Irrational complaints. When you're sitting outside at a restaurant, even though it's not a restaurant, it's, you know, a little ice cream shop, and you have to talk very loudly in, I don't know if this makes me a bad person, but in a foreign language, very loudly, it kind of is just like, okay,
we're gonna get ripped a new one.
Yeah, I know we are. But
come at us, please.
But even like, I mean, they were talking in English too, and they were still very loud.
So loud.
And they chose to sit at the table right next to it, like right behind us. When there's tables or places like all over the place to go sit, and it's just...
And all the other people that were outside were like, kind of like, doing like normal voice, like talking, like kind of... We were all almost like whispering. Mm-hmm. Like you heard the people next to us, right? Like we weren't talking about them.
No.
We're just trying to have our own conversations, but it's like impossible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then I just...
And I know people can't control it. Like they maybe like no one's told them like, hey, you're really loud.
I don't know. I don't know.
I could say a lot more about that, but I really
it's one of those things that just annoys me, because we're all there to enjoy the outdoors and our ice cream, and maybe not enjoy a busy, loud place. That's why we go there, or why we don't sit inside, right? Mm-hmm. Or why we're not somewhere else eating food that's with loud people around. I don't know. It's just annoying.
And the thing is, we have to be careful. Tippy toe.
Tippy toe.
Because this isn't actually like the first time that we've dealt with this sort of thing.
Oh, we have stories.
So let's just say it is a particular cultured group of individuals.
I wouldn't even go that far into it anymore. My complaint is just more of, if you're in a public setting, I don't care race, whatever ethnicity. I don't care.
Yeah, we're not.
But
if
you're in a public place and you're being extremely loud, where it's one thing if it's a party, if it's whatever, that's fine. But like, for instance, we had an incident it was a couple years ago at the beach back home. You know, there was a family next to us, and they were blaring their music. Like, I could not hear her
have a conversation
next to me. And I went over to them and I asked, I'm like, is it possible you could turn down your music?
Like, nicely, very nicely and calmly.
And they basically said no.
You're gonna go home then.
Yeah.
It's a beach.
Yeah. And turned it up and went on their merry way.
It's just so
inconsiderate.
entitled, inconsiderate. It's the same thing with the freaking bringing your music around with no headphones.
Yeah.
Like, you are not the only ones on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that there are certain groups of people that just think that they can do whatever they would like to do.
Yeah.
And if people try and tell them differently, they take it very, very personally.
Yeah.
And they pull whatever card that they're makes them quote unique.
Yeah.
So
that is, I guess, a politically correct way to say that, right?
Why?
Yeah, I don't, it's one of those things of, like, I guess I could be calling myself a hypocrite because, I used to do that kind of stuff, like, with my friends, like, we would blare our music loud, like in a car going through a parking lot.
It's one thing if you're kids.
But as I get older, it's like, all right, enough's enough. Like, we're all here enjoying the same space. You need to enjoy the space for everybody, which some people just won't ever get, and
they want to forget that other people are around, and they only care about their own personal enjoyment.
Yeah, they don't care, and
it's like being. I don't know where we are here, but
we can just keep on talking. That's fine.
We can, if you have any kind of empath color, aura color, blue, purple, indigo, turquoise, that's pretty much all of them. Occasional pink. It's like a vowel. And sometimes Y. You can feel other people's feelings around you, if they're talking or not. You can feel the energy, the vibration, whatever. I can feel, we can feel when people are also feeling awkward. It's not like people make that up. Like, even if they don't get verbal confirmation, it's definitely an energy exchange that's there. And I feel like the people that are the perpetrators, the ones, let's say, blaring the music, talking loudly, they can feel that. But they just choose to ignore it. And I can't... I just don't understand how you live your life like that.
No.
And I think that's a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. I think that I don't know if it's our society, just the way it is, that it's just taught people to just not care about others.
Just so self-absorbed.
Yeah, just so self-absorbed and just in their own whatever, and don't care what other people think. And it's one thing if you go home and you play your music loud and whatever,
and you're in your own home,
like, or
we've done
car,
that. We did that in the
whatever.
Apartment. Yeah.
But to be in a public space that you're sharing with everyone else and put yourself, I guess,
like them, literally above. Like, I'm more important than you. My happiness,
cookout, my whatever,
is more
blasting my music is more important than you enjoying yourself. And I could tell it was more than us that were annoyed with the beach goers. So
it's just these lessons that you learn along our life journey that just you can take them and be like, I guess at least I'm not that type of person. And it makes you more aware of your own mistakes and what you've learned from them. And maybe we don't notice something until somebody tells us, or until it bothers us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can be self-aware if we're doing the same thing. Like, I'm always checking myself before I make some kind of complaint like that. Like, do I do that too? Like, and then I get confirmation from somewhere if I do or don't, just to make sure, because I'm hyper anxiety with that kind of stuff. I wouldn't say I'm adjusting my whole life every day to please people, but we're not here by ourselves. We have to be considerate, and or else it's just crap and chaos. If everybody was like that, oh my god,
no one would go outside.
Yeah.
Or go to parks, or go anywhere like where it's supposed to be quiet and secluded. Like, I really hope on our trip that we go on that we don't get hit with freaking wazoos.
Yeah.
Because I heard about that happening on Memorial Day weekend, one of the islands out here. There was a wazoo blaring his music like loud from his boat. Like, the whole anchorage could hear it, especially over water. Like, sound carries very, very easily.
Well, then tell them about the camp.
And then there was this group of people. They were snagging like single-use tent sites for no apparent reason. Like, they weren't using them. They were putting a tent at like each site,
so dumb,
like on the island for something. And like someone said something, and they just like
like nobody actually went to them.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, some of that stuff is just people are just so entitled, and just so whatever. Like, they just don't care, and it's just disgusting.
I guess the one thing we have to hope for is karma, because they'll get theirs.
Yeah.
They will.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Even stupid, silly stuff like that. That's just so pointless. And
it's like, what?
Wow. Okay.
So.
Anything else from you?
No, I think we are well out of time.
Ranted out.
I am sorry about the super long 20-minute rant that we just went on about nothing pertaining to sailing at all. But that is us. And this is what you get. So,
yeah. This is real. This is me. Okay.
On that note.
Tune in next time, bitches.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.